Can you hear me tonight? Those frogs. Let me know down below if you can hear me, because then we got 50% of this little show going. First of all, let me know how you lovely, sexy looking people are doing. Remember, this little show is only for the sexy looking people.
This dance ain't for everybody. Only the sexy people.
So, what are we going to talk about today? We are talking, we got new news, right? News across the board. China. Are we going to see a demonstration across the board? Well, people are literally trying to overrun the banks, but the banks are not allowing that. No bank runs in China. But anyway, it seems currently that a lot of nations, a lot of societies are unhappy with their governments across the board. Not a lot of love there. Anyway, so we're going to talk a little bit about China. We are going to talk about what else is going on in the geopolitical and CBDC regulations, and a little bit about crypto. I did not know or think we were going to talk this little about crypto in this year, but it seems that everything is shaping up in the right way if you are positioned within the future finance, which is going to be built on the blockchain. And from my point of view, it's going to be built on Ethereum. We're going to have further evidence of that today. So let's get it going. But for all of those of you who like Polkadot and Kusama, I think tomorrow or the day after, I think tomorrow, I'm going to launch a video where I am staking Kusama and Karura for almost 70% APR. Now, that's a lovely thing when we talk about crypto, but that must be for tomorrow. I already prepared the video, but it's not going to be today, because I know you want to talk about crypto, not all the geopolitical events. Anyway, let's get it going. And I think sexy looking cuddletters, I think goes a little something like this. I want to welcome you to Crypto Never Sleeps. In case you're new to this channel, you want to stay on top of the crypto world, then please hit like, smash, subscribe, and all them goodies so that you can stay on top. So that you can stay on top of the crypto world and get notified when we upload new videos, so that you can protect your wealth, preserve your wealth, and ultimately increase your wealth. My name is Nico Arachi, and I am number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's young, he's handsome, he's a prophet, he's a poet. They know it. I must be the greatest. I told the world.
And I just want to give this to my good friend. Where do we have that? Is that here? That doesn't work. There's always some things that doesn't work. Anyway, first things first, and we need to go and look at the level of market manipulation. So, what are we seeing here? Again, it's strange days, right? We're looking at the 15 minutes, but I do have some my point of view where I think where the market could be heading. So Bitcoin down 2.2%, 23,000. We got Ethereum 1,573, up 1.8%. What has been interesting, to say the least, for the past week or so, right? We have seen Ethereum not, kind of decouple from Bitcoin, right? And that's a very strong thing. Now, from my point of view, I have actually thought that is supposed to happen and will happen. But let's see how that's going to last. We got Cardano at 49. I think the last 3 days, what was it? 46, 47, 51. It's really not doing a lot. Cardano, we got Polkadot at 7, also not doing a lot. But don't forget, the reason why I also always put these 4 coins here is because these 4 coins are altogether the future of finance. Don't get me wrong. And you need to understand that. And if you want to look at me right in the eyes and I tell you this, then look at this. When Ethereum was created, there were 4 creators, right? Co-founders. Vitalik, as we know. Then there was Joseph Lubin, right? And he's taking care of consensus. Consensus is, from my point of view, well, I mean, they own Quorum. Quorum is the permissioned blockchain or protocol on Ethereum that is going to be the foundation of the CBDC together with R3 Corda, which is also Ethereum interoperable. But let's not talk about R3 Corda yet. So there we got Ethereum, consensus, Joseph Lubin, co-founder. Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, co-founder of Ethereum. And then we got Gavin Wood. You see, and they were all somehow linked, even from the beginning when it came to Bitcoin and subsequently to the evolution of creating Ethereum smart contracts. Now, this could be a little bit of a theory, right? But I do think that they were kind of chosen to succeed. That's why I'm looking at these four, and I want you to keep that, don't forget about that. There may be other blockchains. They can be good. Surely, quicker, faster, more scalable, more fun maybe even. But I believe these are like the three, let's say the four major things that you got to look at. Now, a lot of dApps, apps, protocols that will be built on top of them. These are also the ones that you need to look at. So that was my, I hope it was, sometimes we need to hammer the message, and that's what I tried to do here. And let me put them down here in the corner. So, and let's then go in and have a look at Bitcoin. There we go. Bitcoin on the weekly, nothing new here. We are seeing there's been okay volume so far, right? Let's see if are we gonna close above. I could actually imagine that we could close above the 7-day moving average. And when we go and look at Ethereum, I guess you're all here, you've been here before, we're looking at the weekly with the 7-day moving average. I mean, Ethereum will really have to fall now, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to go below. I don't think it's gonna do that. So I have a feeling that we will close this week above, which is probably a good thing. And then this is just a theory. Remember, if we have 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth, that would take the economy into a recession, right? So I was thinking about this. I actually could imagine that we are going to see the economic figures that will solidify a recession. Having said that, so what I do believe what is going to happen is that we will see that, I mean, you can go in and look at it on daily. I think what we will see is that once those news come out, we will see the market fall. It could be 1 or 2 days. It could also just be a few hours. That could potentially trigger that we could go quickly down, maybe even see Bitcoin at 12,000. If, because that would be negative news, recession, and so on. I don't know. It's just a theory. However, the reason why I'm saying this, because if we would, I cannot imagine that we're not going to see a second quarter negative growth, right? Because, pandemic and war and inflation and everything. But I think the market, they could turn it around very quickly and say, hey, well, you know what? That was because of the cronies. It was because things are going to shine. Now, what I'm pointing out right now could easily also play out on a longer time frame. But I do think that we're going to have some negative news that will push the market further down. Now, will it be a quick thing, or will it ultimately take us into these 14 months that we have seen in the past? I just want to share that here. Remember, when we were looking at the historical corrections, right? In 2013 to 2015, it was 14 months. 2017 to 2019, it was also 14 months. Now, that's sometimes a little bit different. If you look at the weekly close, the monthly close, it could be slightly different. But we saw from 13 high to the low in 2015, we saw 86%. 17 to 19, we saw 83%. Currently, we've only seen 72%. Now, yeah, what do I know? I'm just putting this little theory out there before we're gonna go and look quick at the watch list and then have a little chit chat if we got time for that, right? So let me take you see we're trying to build this down here on the bottom, but doesn't look so good, does it now? So let me put this away. There we go. What are we seeing here? We're seeing the market holding above the 1 trillion. Not so bad, but Bitcoin down 2% and seeing a little bit different. I don't know if you slightly after the US opened and when we were seeing the market retrace, if you would have looked at all these numbers, how much the market was going down, it was almost like they were. I took a screenshot, I don't have it here, but it was like really 5%, 5%. It was between 4 and 6%. Every major coin was down between 4 and 6%. Now, that doesn't happen unless somebody is really, dictating where the prices are going to go. But anyway, this is a little bit later now, and we are seeing different things. I like to see Thorchain Rune up 11%. It's lovely to see. I also know Curve, or you look at Curve, is up 17%. Curve is up on the news that they will launch their own stablecoin. And of course, all these new stablecoins that are being launched, also Phantom has their own stablecoin, are going to be obviously better equipped than the stablecoins that we saw on Terra Luna, right? So I just wanted to scroll down because it looks to me today that it's also an Ethereum day, right? So we've got Ethereum up is green. Binance is green, which is, on Ethereum. Then we got XRP, Cardano, Solana, Dogecoin. We're going to talk a little bit about Dogecoin. Polkadot is down. Then we got Polygon Matic up. That's the Ethereum ecosystem, right? Avalanche, but up is good. Uniswap, Ethereum ecosystem up. Chainlink, more, ERC20 up. Stellar is a different. Bitcoin Cash is different, right? VeChain, different things. And the next one, Aave, well, more or less, ERC20 also up, right? So, put my little face here so you me. What else do we have? Yeah, Thorchain Rune is a different thing, right? That's a complete different, that's the secret sauce of the future. Maker should be up when we're looking at the Ethereum ecosystem, but Phantom is up. We made a little video about that. IOTA is very good, remember that. Also kind of like a different ecosystem by itself, right? With mobile phones. It's actually fantastic, IOTA. If you look really at the technology of IOTA, you wouldn't need anything else. But let's see what the future brings. So Curve up 17%, that's nice to see. Then we have, everything else a little bit down, not a lot. Compound is also part of the Ethereum ecosystem, but not. So, but Synthetics is up 12%. Synthetics has their own stable coin. And I'm telling you, out of all these big DeFi coins, I am staking Synthetics at around, it's between 40 and 70% APR. And cashing in on that kitty is happy as Larry. Okay, I think there's not so much else. Akala up also. So, yeah, that's DeFi. Looks like it's the day of major DeFi tokens. Okay, guys, let's go in and see what you've been doing. Time to just at least say hello. So, how is everybody? All you sexy-looking people. Who is here? We got Rena Clemus is here. We got Tiger Man. Tiger Man, you've been coming here for the past few days. That's nice to see. Shahid, I meet my soul brother, Paul Munro. XRP is not even in the equation. I agree with you because XRP is I know where XRP is. It's right over on the right on the shit list. What do you say, Ansa Hamid? Good to see you. Samuel from Nigeria. I love when you're here. I always see that you say hello, and I'm so happy that you are still here. Our true good friend from Africa.
Hello, Africa. Tell me how you doing. Hello, motherland. Tell me how you doing. Hello, Africa. Tell me how you doing. Hello, motherland. Tell me how you doing.
Cardano is going to Africa. Don't remember. Polkadot is very Asian oriented. Looks like Cardano is going to overtake Africa, but in the end of the day, it's all going to be interoperable. Would you hold some Ethereum or more quant? Remember, that's a good morning. Yeah, for me, it's soon good night. Remember, I can't give you financial advice on that, Rena, but they are both good. So let's get into today's news and let's move quickly. Remember, CBDCs, you got to follow the Atlantic Council. You need to educate yourself on the development. But if you don't want to do that, then I believe 2023 is going to be the year where it will ultimately be rolled out. But we never know with the government. They are, sometimes lazy and it could be later. Now look at this, the worst terrible slide. I'm not going to read it all. But there was, last week, we had the representatives of the European Commission, and we also had, and we had the representatives of the European Commission, the European Banking Authority, the European Securities and Market Authority, and several other EU-level bodies met with officials from the United States Department of the Treasury, Commodity Futures Trading Commission, Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, Securities and Exchange Commission, and other American colleagues to discuss regulatory routine. So this was last week from the 13th and 14th July. And this was actually, they call it a joint financial regulatory forum. So, and what were they talking about? They were talking about stablecoins and the EU delegation updated, blah, blah, blah. So they all met in order to basically talk about CBDC cross-border regulation, right? Friends there, who cares about Ukraine and war? All they care about is the future of monetary, to implement the future monetary system. And they need to, because the current one is imploding. Jumping on to that, we got big news when it comes to the ECB. Now look at this. The European Central Bank increased interest rates for the first time in 11 years. Wow, they increased it by 0.5%, which takes the Euribor to 0.00%. Now, whatever. That is just amazing, right? So, you can go in and look at that. Obviously there is LIBOR and Euribor, it's calculated. Are you depositing it for 1 week, a month, 3 months, 6 months, and whatever? But nevertheless, it is at zero. How attractive it is to invest in Europe, right? Very attractive. It's a joke. But anyway, it was big news of the day. Furthermore, South Korea postponed 20% tax on crypto gains from January the 1st, 2023, and they postponed it to 2025. Now and the same did Thailand. So Thailand proposed a similar 15% crypto gains tax. However, it received backlash and people were not happy, and there's so much going on everywhere in the world, so they thought, okay, you know what? You don't need to pay crypto gains tax of 15% in Thailand and 20% in South Korea. But they're only postponing it, right? But so we can just see that there's a lot going on worldwide. Talking about, regulation, CBDC permission blockchains. So Goldman Sachs, they settled first security lending deal on blockchain, which was worth hundreds of millions. Now, remember, the big banks, they lie, right? Because maybe it is Goldman, maybe they really did settle this. This sounds like they did it for the first time. But they've been around. Goldman Sachs actually supported R3 quarter in 2014, right? I think that's even kind of before Ethereum almost. Anyway, this transaction entailed a combined series of 35-day term transaction involved an unspecific amount of hundreds of $1 million, blah, blah, blah. But, this is what you should hear, and this is who they were using. So HQLAX, that's also a company, right? Designed ISIN-level securities trackers dubbed digital collateral records to execute the transaction. The feature was from loan securities received from BNY Mellon, the liquidity provider, in return handing Goldman Sachs a digital copy of the trades. So additionally, I mean, yeah, HQLAX tokenized the securities under the original custodian, which allows the asset to be traded and settled without shifting it. I put this down here in orange because this is all done by Quarter, and which is owned by R3. And I haven't spoken a lot about Quarter because they don't really have a native token, and Quarter is more or less just well, not more or less, it's a private blockchain for enterprises. And it is it is the main competitor to Hyperledger and Quorum. So the future of finance that's being built right in front of our eyes and being built on Ethereum, well, all of it is going to be Ethereum compatible or interoperable. But it is Quorum, Quarter by R3, and Hyperledger Bisu. And I will make a video on that, but now you know it. And I mean, you can debate it with, you can say XRP, yeah, XRP. You can tell me many other things. No, this is what it is. I've said this since 2 years, and it's not because I want to lecture anybody, it's just that we are here to make money. So if you don't believe me, just go in and read the Bank for International Settlements papers or World Economic Forum. That's just how the future of finance is laid out. Now, geopolitical and global news updates. What are we seeing here? Well, we're seeing the Chinese, they're not happy. They're not happy with their regime. I mean, especially the good people of the Hainan province, because for the past several weeks, they have been clashing, and they're simply not getting their money back. And this is how I think it looked today. I went in and tried to see if we can have a little look at this. So, yeah, they're even rolling tanks in, and that's a bad thing, right? Anyway, so the good people of Hainan, they are not happy because they're not getting their money, because the banks are simply blocking the money and saying it has been invested into various investment, whatever. Now, how much this is going to have an impact on the overall economy right now, I'm not sure. I actually think a greater impact from China is the current lockdowns that we are seeing. Because they were, in fact, we don't have a slide about this, but last week when the Federal Reserve, they were meeting and what is his name? Jerome Powell, he was speaking. He was actually in his speech, he was mentioning the Chinese second COVID lockdown 8 times. 8 times he was mentioning that is bad in order for the economy to recover. Because the supply chain is going to be further delayed, and that is going to increase inflation. I don't really 100% understand that, because do we really need to buy more shit from China? I mean, because the things that they were pointing out, right? It's like, it's just to buy more shit. Now, I mean, let's just keep those coins in the right pocket, in the left pocket, and in the back pocket. And because the reason why the Federal Reserve Chairman, he's concerned about that is because the fundamentals of our fiat-based monetary systems, they're based on one thing or 2 things only. Keep increasing the money supply and keep consuming. And if that, how is that going to look if the Federal Reserve is going to keep increasing the money supply, but they ain't got nothing to buy? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm trying to make a little joke, but there's some truth to all of that. So not good what's going on in China. And before we just move on to what's happening in Russia and Ukraine, I do like to follow this since a few days, the global protest tracker. And in case you also want to, enjoy this, I think it makes sense. So go in and have a look at that. Here, boom. Put myself here. Down here, there we go. So, and so there you can see which are active and what's going on in the world. I also like this. I think we never spoke about this before, but I think that we're going to see more and more protests and riots. So you gotta keep yourself educated. We're seeing today in Italy, the farmers are also starting to join this whole movement, right? So even here we got another, he is, I don't know, really why he's putting milk there. And Sri Lanka, there's another. Sri Lanka requires citizens to have a fuel pass with a QR code to ration the weekly amount of fuel. Now, could it be that this app is on the blockchain? Think about that for a minute. Furthermore, we're seeing that, a lot about the Italian farmers. So this really, every farmer across the globe, maybe we should buy ourselves a tractor like that and let's go, right? That's how we're going to spend our summer. At least we are doing something that is worth something. So you see, this is again Italy, and we are unable to feed our children. Thousands besiege the seat of government in wherever and warn the barricaded politicians. Get down, get out, get out. At least they're doing something good, I have to say. They are doing something good. And what Italy also had, they had a nice pyrotechnology, happening in because that their president or whatever prime minister, Mr. Draghi, he was leaving, so they were celebrating as much as they could. Anyway, so we got those, and then let's get over to another terrible news. Russia causes panic. Yeah, this is causing panic. Russians cause panic after moving weapons explosive into Europe's largest nuclear power plant. So what has happened here is now that the Russian forces, they have moved a lot of their weapons into nuclear power, plant. And this is obviously very bad, right? Because what both the Ukrainians and the Russians are doing is that they're trying to bomb every military weapons storage, facility. Now, there's one thing is if you're going to move your bombs into a nuclear facility, a bomb might just go off by itself. But even if Ukrainians are going to put a bomb there, whoever, then we got a fucking nuclear bomb. I mean, it's terrible. But anyway, so what do you think? The Russian military had brought at least 14 pieces of heavy military equipment with ammunition, weapons, and explosives to the engine room of power unit number 1 at the Zaporozhye NPP. So, and I just want to show you here the map again. So you see, so this is the Donbas region that we have, right? And and where I've put here, Crypto Never Sleeps, that's where I am. That's where I am, right? So I'm 1,000 kilometers approximately from this whole thing. And I don't know exactly where Zaporozhye is, but it's somewhere. Let me just... Yeah, somewhere anyway, this is just, I don't know. One bad thing leads to the next. But before we go, let's have a little look at what's going on with Elon, because the question is, and I also want to ask you guys that, is Elon just a good guy? Like a few good men, he's a good man, good guy, but just dumb as hell? Or is he really a guy from the elite? I don't know. I can't figure that out. You see, we had these Dogecoin news today, but that really didn't have any impact on the Doge price, right? Remember 1 year ago, 1.5 years ago, when Elon, he was talking about it, Dogecoin was exploding. Let's actually go in and have a look. Where is the Dogecoin? So that means that all of a sudden he doesn't have an impact. I mean, in fact, Dogecoin is down 1.8%. Yes, 13% over the last 7 days, but it's not the impact that it had last year. So very quickly, I think, and that's why I want to hear your opinion. It seemed to me first when he wanted to buy Twitter, I liked the idea, right? I said, yeah, he's going to go buy because he wants freedom of speech. But I was thinking, no, they're never going to give him freedom of speech. I mean, that goes completely against everything that we are seeing in today's world of mainstream. But so was he convinced that he could push through freedom of speech. You see, after he had actually, so first he made an offer, right? And then the board, the Twitter board, they, executed something that is called like a poison pill, that they could basically issue more shares and it will dilute, but it will cost him more. So somehow he even, he was up for that and ready to pay more. But then all of a sudden, the European Union, the United States, and 34 other countries around the globe came out with a new act where they were saying, social media needs to be controlled act. So basically, no, we're not going to allow you here in our country, if you're not going to be regulated under us. So I think that when Elon understood that there was no way in hell that he was going to be able to exercise freedom of speech nowhere, maybe, in Sri Lanka or, somewhere, but not where it really matters. I think that's the whole thing came out with the 5% of, false accounts. But and obviously you don't want to buy it now. What's Twitter worth now for Elon when the one thing he wanted to implement was freedom of speech, which would have helped all of us. So is he a white knight? Or is he just dumb like a minion? Or is he a puppet of the elite? Let me know what you think. And that's all I got to say about that. And then let's have a little chit chat before we say goodnight. So I think he's controlled opposition and con man. And the future will. I really don't know, but thank you for sharing, friend. I really like that. Chaotic Rage, what's up with you? Looking good tonight. I like what you did with your hair. Hashi Reichman, you see a bond bridge went down to $2.50. I don't think you will see that again. Well, never say never where these markets are going these days. That's why averaging in, averaging out, that's the best thing. And that is also the reason why I'm not talking too much about crypto, is because I want you guys to understand what impacts, the price. But you can see down below, right down here, you can see what is scrolling. This is Kitty's portfolio. Next time we will see each other, we will do portfolio update. Talk lots about crypto. And tomorrow we're going to launch that Kusama Karuro video where I'm staking 70, I think close to 70%. And Kitty, he's static. Love you so much. Thank you. Well, let me say, Crypto Charlie, you're here. Stephen Jones, CCC. Stufferland, good to see you. And for you, I will make a summary also of the gaming videos. Is it time to get into the gaming, they're called? IGO, Initial Gaming Offering Platforms. And Shahid, you're just going to get a big kiss. See you tomorrow. I don't know when I will see you tomorrow, but we'll see each other soon. Take care and stay strong. That's all I can say. And now I'm going to have myself some lemon butter chicken. Some sexy looking lemon butter chicken. And just remember, stay strong. Don't quit.
When you feel like quitting, remember all of those who said you'd fail. When you feel like giving up, remember why you started. When you feel like quitting, remember what you're doing it all for. When you feel like quitting, remember pain is temporary and greatness lasts forever.
When you feel like quitting, remember that the pain you feel today will be replaced with the strength you need tomorrow. Remember that every ounce of pain you feel is building a stronger you, a stronger body, a stronger mind, and a stronger character. So push through the pain. Don't let it stop you. Force it to grow you.
Don't back down from the pain. Face it. Feel no pain. There is no pain. That painful last rep, that's nothing. Give me more. Push harder.
Too tired, too hard, too busy, too early, too stressed. No excuses. Too tired, no excuses. Too hard, no excuses. Too busy, no excuses. Too early, no excuses. Too stressed, no excuses. When I feel like quitting, I remember there's too many people I need to prove wrong. When I feel like quitting, I remember I have too much to fight for. I will not quit.
Sleep-ins, they're for grandmas. I'm up, I'm ready to go. Quitting, that's for those who have no heart. I do not quit. Your greatest physique, your greatest health, your greatest strength, it doesn't come with average effort. If you want average results, keep showing up and giving average effort. If you want to be at your best, you will have to give your best effort. Make an oath to yourself that you will not walk out of any training session, any game, anything without giving 110% of your soul. Whatever you think is your limit, push past it. Whatever you think is your max, see if you can get 10% more out. Results don't lie. It all comes down to one simple question. How bad do you want it? And when you feel like quitting, give me 10 more.
Nothing great is going to come if you quit. I know it's hard. I know you are tired. I know it seems impossible, but you must keep going. Stick it out and get your reward.